Hello and welcome to my channel Close to the Edge. My name is Pat. We'll be talking about all things prog rock, classic rock, heavy rock and maybe even a sticker rock. Stick around. You never know. Today I'm going to do 10 bands that I just don't get. I'm going to rank them between 10 and 1 and I just don't get them. I just don't get these bands. There are a couple of surprises in there that you might be surprised that I don't get these bands, but I just don't. And I have tried. Trust me, I have tried. But then again, this video is what, the 1st of January 2025. I could do the same video a year later and some of these bands might not be on this list. I might have got them by then. Everything changes. We all hear things differently and there is no right or wrong answer. So, let's get cracking at this. My number 10 is the band REO Speedwagon. I just don't get. I don't particularly like AOR type of music. And they're one of them I just couldn't get. I've heard a lot of their songs. They're on the radio back in the late 70s and 80s. And I just don't get them. Too poppy, too lovey-dovey. Just don't like them. That's my number 10. My number 9 is Irish band U2. Could never get them. All the time I listen to music, because you must remember when they started I was getting into the music and I just don't get them at all. Like the first album, Boy, heard all their Rattling Home, I heard all that stuff, Beautiful Day. I just don't get them. I never knew, to be absolutely honest with you, why they were so big worldwide. I can understand why they were big in Ireland, being an Irish band in many respects. But worldwide, nah, just don't do it for me. Anyway, that's my number 9. My number 8, another band around in the 80s, the 90s, I beg your pardon, 90s. Oasis. I always call them mock rock. Never did nothing for me. You know, heard their albums. Actually I bought one of them actually when it came out. The second one. Wonderwall and all that stuff was on it. No, doesn't do that for me. Average musicians at best. Average. Just don't do it for me. Been done before, you know. Very popular though. There you have it. Not a popular band around that time in the 90s is Blur. Could never get them either. Heard a few albums by him. Don't think they had that many albums actually. And just couldn't get him. The one caveat I will say about that is I was in the car with my daughter and she was playing something on her Spotify through the car system and I said, I like that. What is that? She said, it's a band called Gorillaz and the singer who was in Blur, that's his band. And I liked it and it's a band I have to still check out, but I did like it. So that's one down the line for me. My number 6 is another AOR band. I remember hearing the album Foreigner 4, Foreigner. No, lovey-dovey music again. Pop and that kind of music that does not appeal to me at all. Doesn't appeal to me. Not my cup of tea, so to speak. I just tried to get into them. A lot of people were getting into them at the time. Just couldn't. What can I say? Just don't like them. This one might surprise a few people. My number 5, Iron Maiden. I remember I bought the album Killers and Number of the Beast at the time in the 80s and I gave them away. Couldn't get into them. I already had other albums out which I've heard bits and pieces of it and it's a band I just can't get into. I don't know, it's like prog on Prozac to me. That's what it's like. Speed prog or whatever you want to call it. It just doesn't do a thing for me. Now I know I've heard that they have done some brilliant albums in the 90s and 2000s and I haven't heard those actually, to be quite honest with you, so that could be a question mark on that one really, but as it stands I don't get them. Iron Maiden. Number 4, another huge band, probably the biggest band on this actually, the Rolling Stones. Never got them. Could never get, tried to get into them, bought a few albums in the 80s from their early stuff, from the late 60s and 70s, did nothing for me. Absolutely nothing. Now I know they had a brilliant guitarist in Mick Taylor who was with John Mayall. Now I loved Mick Taylor when he was played with John Mayall, but I can't get him. I don't like him. Don't like their sound. Don't like the way they play. Just not for me. Not my cup of tea at all. Number 3 is another English band, big band too, The Who. When I did the ranking of the 10 live albums with my good friend Kevin, a lot of people were suggesting Live at Leeds, The Who. Oh yeah, their number 1 album. Go and check it out. I did check it out. Checked it out a few times. Don't like it. I've heard of their studio albums as well. I've heard Quadrophenia. I've heard their albums. I never got them. Couldn't take to the singing. Couldn't take to the way they played. Just not my thing. What can I say? Probably your thing, but not mine. Number 2 is a metal band, or thrash metal, or really heavy music. Megadeth. Could never, ever get them at all. They're way too heavy for me, and just, again, I don't know what it is about them. It's just nothing in there for me. Not a thing. Just not for me. But the number 1 band I don't get, huge band in America especially. I mean huge. Commercially, merchandise, all that, Kiss. I just can't stand them. I've heard a good few albums by them when they had the masks on or whatever they had on, when they took it off. I just can't get them. Not my music at all. Some people said, oh yeah, get Kiss Alive and listen to this and listen to them. No. I just don't like them. Now, if there is an any of those 10 that I named out, if you can remember them, if there's any album that you should ask me to check out and see what I think, please do so in the comments. And I'd like to read in the comments what your 10 bands you don't get. And they could be bands that I love. But we all hear things differently, as I said earlier on. It's very subjective, and there's no right or wrong answer. Anyway, that's the 10 bands I just don't get. I was going to call it hate or don't like, but I said I just don't get it. I don't like that word hate. You know, that's a very, very strong word and I don't like it. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and if you're new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button, like button, and share it around. And of course, if you don't like it, you're not going to do that. And thank you very much for all my new subscribers. Very, very welcome. And all my returning subscribers and viewers, please keep watching. I have a lot of great content coming up now soon, a few more guests. And I want to wish everyone a very happy new year and a prosperous new year. And also, be nice to each other, nice to be nice, and stay safe and keep well. Until my next video here on Close to the Edge, I'll see you very, very soon. So bye for now.